Level 3 Academic. Listening. Lecture on the films of Jane Campion. Part 1. Good morning, everybody, in Film and Television Studies 301. My name is Ruth Wilson, and I am a visiting lecturer from the UK. My lecture today is on the films of Jane Campion. Jane Campion is a New Zealand director and is the only female director to receive the Palme d'Or Award at the Cannes Film Festival. Campion graduated from the Australian Film, Television and Radio School in 1984. In 1986, she directed an episode for an Australian television series called Dancing Days. This was a popular series and it helped her get a chance to direct her first television film, Two Friends, 1986, which was produced by her friend Jan Chapman. Her feature film debut was Sweetie in 1989, and this won 2 international awards. It was a low-budget but well-received film, and based on its success, Campion was hired to direct the New Zealand feature film An Angel at My Table. This was a biographical drama about the life of New Zealand writer Janet Frame. The film received recognition in New Zealand, Australia and the UK. However, it was not distributed in America. Perhaps it was considered too culturally specific for a US release. In 1993, Campion wrote the screenplay for the piano and approached her friend Jan Chapman from her Australian television school days to help her raise funding. Chapman developed and produced the film with Campion. The film was a New Zealand, Australian, French co-production. The budget was $7 million and it took $140 million at the box office worldwide. With its beautiful lighting, extraordinary soundtrack and strong performances, the film was bound to win many awards. Notably, it won 3 Academy Awards: Best Original Screenplay for Campion, Best Actress for Holly Hunter, and Best Supporting Actress for Anna Paquin. At the BAFTA Awards, it won Best Actress, Best Production Design for Andrew McAlpine, and Best Costume Design for Janet Patterson. The Australian Film Institute gave it Best Film, Best Direction, Best Original Screenplay, Best Actor for Harvey Keitel, Best Actress, Best Cinematography for Stuart Dryborough, Best Original Music for Michael Nyman, Best Production Design, and Best Costume Design. Part 2. This film brought Campion to the world's attention and film offers flooded in, but Campion is particular about the films she chooses and waited 3 years before making her next film, The Portrait of a Lady. Made in 1996, it stars Nicole Kidman and was based on the Henry James novel of the same name. It co-starred John Malkovich and Barbara Hershey. Holy Smoke followed 3 years later. This had Harvey Keitel again as the lead actor and Kate Winslet as the main actress. In 2003, Campion departed from her usual period pieces and decided to make a modern thriller, In the Cut. It was based on the novel by Suzanne Moore and featured Meg Ryan in the lead role. Unfortunately, the film was not well received and it was reportedly a disaster at the box office. It was 6 years before Campion made another film, and this was the 2009 film Bright Star, a biographical drama about the romance between English poet John Keats and Fanny Brawne. It starred Ben Whishaw and Abbie Cornish. This film was a welcome return to what Campion's audiences knew and liked. It was popular in New Zealand, Australia, the UK and France, and the beautiful lighting and the film's romantic theme contributed to its appeal. In 2013, Campion made a departure from her feature film career and worked on Top of the Lake, a New Zealand television mystery series that received acclaim in both Europe and the US. Its lead actress, Elizabeth Moss, received a Golden Globe Award in America. Over the years, Campion's work has received mixed reviews, but there are critics who have described Campion's work as being a true reflection of real life. My own personal favourite of all Campion's films is The Portrait of a Lady. Well, that concludes my lecture on the films of Jane Campion. In my lecture next week, we will look at scenes from The Portrait of a Lady, Sweetie, and The Piano, and compare the main female characters in all three films. See you then.